I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through. I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go. The only thing that I know, you were my gravity, but now I had to leave. I will let you go. Why do you think that I want? Why do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity. 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 I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not.
Warning: the Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here as we get set for pole day qualifying for the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series drivers, continuing our race weekend here from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. In preparation for our 22nd race of the season, our fifth to last race before we are putting our playoff grid together, and the last traditional mile-and-a-half racetrack that these drivers will deal with before we eventually get to the chase for the championship. We begin things here with our expedited 5 minutes qualifying for the go or go home drivers. 5 drivers will be fighting for the 2 available spots for the non-charter entries for the starting lineup that will be set in the upcoming second round of qualifying. We ended up seeing the Toyotas really show up in the lights qualifying session yesterday afternoon as 3 Toyotas at Trackhouse Racing swept the podium. We'll see if the Toyotas are going to be strong here on the Cup side, or if we will see some other manufacturer jump to the forefront. As heading out onto the racetrack here already is the 82 of Jordan Lopez. Jordan, former champion of the series, looking to make his second start of the season. His previous start did not start or end all that well. He qualified 40th and finished in 28th place. So looking first to qualify into the show, but also looking for a much better performance. One of multiple drivers that has attempted to qualify and race in this all-star car out of Blue Oval Automotive. Also add into that list Jose Mills, Trey Wright, Chris Dollerton as well, have all taken turns behind the wheel of this machine. Jordan Lopez will come around, hit the line, and he is now on the clock for his first timed lap. Expect to see much higher, faster speeds here in the Cup side of qualifying than we saw in lights. Big reason being with that rear spoiler there, that wing on the back end of the car. A lot more downforce, a lot more speed carried by these drivers, as a 23.731 is going to be the benchmark lap time set by Jordan Lopez with about 3 minutes remaining. Saw Autumn Brooks out on the racetrack not too long after Lopez, and right now she sits second on the board at a 23.764, so about 300ths off the lap time set by the 82 car. Hiccup Bush heading out on the racetrack. Kyle Langland still sits on pit road, and Bryce Egan, I believe, has just taken the green flag to start his first official timed lap of the session. Brooks with an improvement to a 23.615. But I believe Lopez is up in the 23.5s now. Yeah, 5.92. No improvement this lap, so it looks like he's plateaued at a 5.9. Autumn Brooks, though, with a little bit of draft there off the back of Bryce Egan, is going to eclipse that lap time to a 5.65. And right now she would sit top of the board. Bryce Egan, 24.055 for his first lap time. We'll see if having the 62 behind him helps on the lap time here. 23.779. That puts him still at third place. Autumn with a great tow down the front straightaway is now to a 23.454. So unless somebody else gets a blistering draft lap, she may have the fastest lap here. The Go Homers. Hiccup Bush made his debut last week, finished in the top 10 in his series debut at Kentucky. Right now he is fourth fastest at a 23.782. And Kyle Langland at a 23.998, but I believe that this is going to be his first official up-to-speed lap, as Jordan Lopez is going to have a nice tow off the back of him. 23.644 there for Langland, moves him to fourth. No improvement for Jordan Lopez, who is second at a 23.510. He was 600ths slower that previous lap, trying to utilize the aid of the slipstream created by the Icebreakers Dark Horse Mustang in front of him, as we have under a minute left to go. This time by, well, about 100 slower than his fastest lap, a 5.20. Bryce Egan is now tucked in behind Autumn Brooks. He's third fastest on the board right now at a 23.569, about 500ths off of second place. Brooks still at the top of the board with that 4.54, but let's see if Bryce Egan here on this lap, can he beat a 5.10 and move to second? No, slower actually here on this lap as he makes his way back around Autumn Brooks. Improvement there by Jordan Lopez, 23.463, so that puts him, 9 thousandths off of Autumn Brooks' lap time. He will lose his drafting help with Kyle Langland though, and zeros are on the clock. I believe that Brooks and Lopez, who both got the benefit of the draft on their lap times, they are both going to be the two transferees here into the main event tomorrow afternoon. Langland, Egan, and Bush are going to be the DNQs this weekend at Homestead-Miami. Yeah, no lap time scored there for Autumn Brooks. I believe that the session is complete. We are just currently waiting on officials to say that indeed cars off the racetrack here. But Autumn Brooks at a 23.5, make that 4.54. And Jordan Lopez with a 23.463 are going to be your two fastest here in knockout qualifying. They will move on to fight for the pole position in just a few moments. Kyle Langland, Bryce Egan, and Hiccup Bush, they are going to fail to qualify for the show tomorrow afternoon. They'll attempt to qualify next week at the road course of Watkins Glen. For Autumn Brooks, she'll be making her 14th start on the season, and for Jordan Lopez, the former champion, will be making his second. So we'll step aside for a quick commercial break, let the other 40 drivers rather, make their way out onto pit road along with our two Go or Go Home qualifiers in an attempt to start from the pole position here tomorrow afternoon. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast on NNSCRA TV. If you enjoyed what you're watching, it would help us out a lot if you'd hit that like button. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to become a part of the NNSCRA crew today. And if you're on your phone, be sure to click that bell to be notified whenever we have a broadcast here on NNSCRA TV. Once again, we thank you for your support, and we hope you continue to enjoy today's broadcast. Getting ready now for the pole position to be determined here from the Homestead-Miami Speedway as we are in round number 2 of qualifying here from Homestead. We saw both Jordan Lopez and Autumn Brooks transfer in just moments ago through the first round, the Go or Go Home qualifying session here. Both of them relied heavily on draft laps to get them the top two fastest speeds in order to transfer. Guarantee you we will see our pole sitter start this race from the inside of the front row due to perfect timing on a draft lap especially when we have all 42 cars out on the racetrack. But Zachary Fitzwater, he doesn't want to wait. He's already out there in that Blue Oval Automotive Dark Horse Mustang. Fitzy coming into this race 16th in overall points. Still looking for that first win on the season, but he's definitely in the points area where a win would easily put him into the wild card conversation. And not only that, I mean, he's only, I believe, 21 points out of that 10th position in the standings. With 5 races left to go, he could easily find a consistent streak and point his way into the playoffs. We'll bring up the live scoring with the ticker here in just a moment, with a minute and a half of this session already eaten away. First official up to speed lap will be here for Zachary Fitzwater. Let's see what kind of a benchmark he's going to set. 23.936 by the Foster's Ford. And that has already been beaten. I believe it probably was beaten by Nathan Ormond in the 23, who I believe was the second driver out on the racetrack. Trying to find Nathan here. Oh, you might have seen him, and I might have just passed over him accidentally. There's Eric Sadler. Jordan Lopez, who transferred in just moments ago to make his second start in the season. Looks like we can start bringing up the lap times here. One driver we got to keep an eye on here this weekend. We've been talking about the Levi McIntyre Carson Gum show. Well, last week was an unusual one. There's no doubt about it. In terms of the mechanical failures that plagued a number of drivers out of 3 specific teams: S3 Motorsports, Fortnite Squad Racing, and Adrenaline Motorsports. And it really played an impact into what the point standings now look like coming into this race. Carson Gum was the points leader. He and his teammate Dylan Pote both had mechanical problems. And Carson dropped from the points lead to 4th in overall standings. That means that now Levi McIntyre not only is the points leader, but there's a new driver that's hunting him down for that regular season championship. That is Ryan Brommer in the 87. Ryan is now only 9 points out of the top spot. James Qualls, 2-time winner in the season, moved up to 3rd in points. He's only 29 points back, and Carson now finds himself 30 points out of the points lead. So for a number of weeks, well, a few months, we've been pretty much talking about the Levi McIntyre Carson Gum show, where they've been tied, they've had 1 point separating, but now there's about 4 drivers that are in the conversation for that regular season championship. And I cannot stress enough how important winning the regular season championship is, because that is 15 bonus points that is paid out for the first round of the playoffs. That is equivalent to going to victory lane 3 times during the course of the regular season. But Jack Mitchell, who was another driver that got hit with the mechanical failures last week at Kentucky, he also had that play a huge part into his scenario coming into this race. Mitchell's been in the top 10 for pretty much the entirety of this season. And last week, his DNF dropped him 3 spots in the standings. He is now 11th in overall points. The difference now, instead of being in a points-paying playoff position, he now drops to the 3rd wild card spot behind drivers Connor Breton and Matt Haas. He is, however, only 1 point behind Nick Gunther, who sits in that coveted 10th position. So Mitchell, with a good run this weekend, could point his way back up into the top 10. Speaking of Nick Gunther, he is right now the fastest on the board at a 23.422, which he just laid down. That improves on the 4.42 that he ran the previous lap. Gunther still looking for that first win here of Season 8, multi-time winner, up in the top 10 in the all-times wins list. And Nick is right now, as I look at it, he'd be looking to break a 5-way tie for most poles on the season. Right now, Nick Gunther Eric Monaco, Caleb Fogler, Dylan Poteet, and Jessica Shelton all have 2 poles each. Gunther, if he's able to close it out here, would break that tie and stand alone with 3 poles on the season. And the Mazdas are fast, because his teammate Anthony McCurry is second fastest on the board right now at a 23.441. Where is Autumn Brooks currently at? Because I'm wondering if that's transferred over to her Mazda as well. Right now she's 20th on the board at 23.551, but we saw good speed out of her race car transferring in through the first round of qualifying. But I don't think we've ever had Mazdas sweep the front row before. This could be a first. Third fastest on the board right now is the Chevrolet of Kyle Matthews. Let's try and find that mellow yellow machine. He might be on pit road. Nope, there he is. Get a nice tow there off the back of Benjamin Miles. It's interesting because I've been looking through different scenarios and everything of drivers and their gap to 30th in the standings. You know, believe it or not, Kyle Matthews, Keith Batson, Caleb Fogler, Dylan Young, Dylan Poteet, Benjamin Snyder, even Austin LaPlante, Cody Lamas, these drivers mathematically still have a shot of being in the playoffs. People might be thinking, well, they're out of the top 30, out of the top 25. There's no way. There definitely is a way. Mathematically, they can move into the top 30 in points. All they have to do, and I know I'm making this sound easy when it's definitely not, is win 2 races here in these final 5 events. If that happens, they immediately shoot up, more than likely to the 3rd wildcard spot behind Breton and Haas. That's all they basically have to do. 2 victories would more than likely garner you enough points to get up into the top 30 in the standings, and that puts you in the wildcard conversation. We've seen this happen before. If people will remember, Zach Rogers spent a good portion of the season out of the hunt, really, for a playoff position, but he ended up finding victories late in the season that got him into the wild card conversation, and he was able to compete for the championship in the playoffs. So do not count anybody out just yet, and don't count out Jordan Lopez, a former champion of the series, as he just jumped to the top of the board at a 23.409. As soon as I say that, he just got shuffled down to second, as Anthony McCrory jumps to the top of the board at a 23.385. But we said back in that first round of qualifying, Lopez did not perform well in his first start this season. Looking to do much better here in the second start. Right now, he would be on the outside of the front row. Keep an eye on Nathan Orman, Daniel Voiles. It was looking like Voiles had done a good job of building a gap between himself and 30th in points, but now he is 28th in the standings. He is only 23 points to the good. Nathan Orman, not much better, 27th in the standings after he dropped 5 spots last week at Kentucky. He is only a total of 28 points ahead of the 30th in the standings cut line. So both those drivers will be looking to build the cushion once again. Both former winners on the season, and both right now, I believe, let me double check. No, one is in, one is out as far as wild cards are concerned. Ormond is in, 5 points ahead of Daniel Voiles, who would be the first driver out, because right now the wild card spots would be Connor Breton, Matt Haas, who are 2-time winners, Jack Mitchell, RJ Bishop, Reggie Fogelman, who just went to victory lane last week, and Nathan Ormond would be the 6 wild card drivers outside of the top 10, but inside of the top 30 with victories. Nearing zeros on the clock, and Anthony McCrory at a garage 55. Looks like he will be the pole sitter. His first pole on the season. He'll be the one to lead us to green here tomorrow afternoon. Jordan Lopez is going to be on the outside of the front row. McCrory will have his teammate Nick Gunther behind him on the inside of row 2 and 3rd. And Levi McIntyre, the points leader, clocks in 4th fastest at a 23.439. See Dylan Young later on this afternoon as he's pulling double duty here at Homestead. That'll be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Duracell Ultralight Series drivers getting ready to take to Homestead-Miami Speedway as their regular season draws ever closer. Their playoffs looming on the horizon as well. Session complete. Lap times official. Grid is set. Anthony McCurry will capture his first pole of the season. Jordan Lopez, Nick Gunther, Levi McIntyre, and four-time winner Destin Bolin going to make up your top five. Daniel Bouchard, who had a great run last week at Kentucky, looking to build off of that as he qualifies sixth. Summer Henson also had a great run last week, moved up to the top 10 in overall points at ninth, and she will start in seventh. Kyle Matthews drifted down the running order a bit there. I think he was slated to start in the top five, but he'll start eighth. Reggie Fogelman, 1 week removed from that victory at Kentucky, looks to continue his ascent through the point standings as he will qualify ninth, and Laura Chung is going to complete the top 10. Levi's going to have the advantage on the grid over Ryan Brommer, who clocks in 11th. Dylan Poteet in 12th. Kyler Sustre, Levi McIntyre, and Carson Gum trying to gain back those points he lost last week. He's going to be the top 15. We look on down through the remainder of the results here for your starting lineup. A couple of notables down there towards the bottom. Matt Haas. Haas dropped 8 spots in the standings last week. He's a 2-time winner, but if he drops more, we're going to start talking about him down in the danger zone of falling out of the top 30 in the standings, and he's going to be starting deep in the field in 34th place. And we also mentioned about the fact that Daniel Voiles, Nathan Norman, they both need to keep themselves away from that third standings cut line. Daniel Voiles 29th on the grid. But this is a multi-groove racetrack. We saw some good side-by-side racing even here in this qualifying session, so drivers mid-pack, rear of the field, definitely will have the opportunity to move their way forward in tomorrow afternoon's main event. But coming up here later on at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's the Duracell Ultra Late Series drivers taking to Homestead-Miami Speedway. Hope you guys will join us for that one. Hope you guys enjoyed this qualifying session. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, part of the crew today. We have shown your starting lineup for tomorrow afternoon's race. We'll see you guys either later on this afternoon or tomorrow to cap off the race weekend here from Homestead-Miami. But until whichever one you join us for, I'm Seth Cole. You've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, offline racing at its best.
The following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.